All right, everyone, buckle up, because today we're diving headfirst into a topic I think we all love to think about: making it rain millions.
Making it rain.
Hitting the jackpot, becoming millionaires. And wouldn't it be even sweeter if we could do it in just 1 year, starting from, well, zero?
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
So this article I found online claims to have the inside scoop, the ultimate blueprint for achieving those million-dollar dreams. It's called, get this, 10 Genius Ways to Make $1 million in 1 year, even if you're broke.
Okay, I've got to admit, that title is pretty darn catchy, but it also sets off my internal BS detector,
Right. A little too good to be true, maybe. So is this article our ticket to Easy Street, or is it just another case of internet clickbait gone wild? Let's dive in and find out.
Let's do it.
All right, first up on the road to riches, we've got selling value instead of products. Now, this one caught my eye because the article uses a pretty bold example. They say, imagine you walk into an e-commerce company, right? You say, hey, I can increase your sales by $5 million in the next year. My fee, a cool million.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So let's break this down. Is that even realistic? What kind of value could possibly justify a $1 million payday?
So the underlying principle here is actually sound. Businesses are always looking for an edge, a way to boost those profit margins. And if you can prove, and I mean really prove, that you can deliver those kinds of results,
you become the most valuable asset in the room?
Exactly. Look at those high-profile consultants, those marketing masterminds raking in the big bucks. They can command those astronomical fees because they have a track record of success. They deliver tangible, measurable outcomes. The issue with these get-rich-quick schemes is that they make it seem so effortless. They completely gloss over the years of hard work, the networking, the building expertise, the constant learning, and let's be honest, sometimes a sprinkle of luck that goes into reaching that level.
It's never as simple as just do this one thing and boom, you're a millionaire. There's always more to the story.
Always.
Okay, so let's move on to something a little more, tangible. Real estate. This article sings the praises of the classic borrow and flip strategy. Buy a fixer-upper, put in some sweat equity, sell it for a hefty profit, right? They even throw in an anecdote about a friend who supposedly made $500,000 doing this.
Yeah.
But let's be real, what's the reality check here? What are they not telling us?
Flipping houses, when done right, can be profitable, but it's definitely not as easy as those home improvement shows make it seem. Picture this. You find what seems like the perfect property, a real steal. But then, surprise, behind those crumbling walls, you discover a whole colony of termites having a feast, or the plumbing is so outdated it would make a plumber weep. Suddenly, that renovation budget you meticulously planned, out the window. Or, imagine this, you're finally finished, the house looks like something out of a magazine, you're ready to list it, and bam, the market takes a nosedive.
Talk about bad timing.
Exactly. And the source mentions using leverage, but doesn't really delve into what that means for the average person. When you're borrowing money to invest, especially in a volatile market like real estate, you're essentially amplifying both the wins and the losses. So yes, you could make a killing, but you could also end up, well, in a bit of a financial hole. It's a high risk, high reward scenario.
So maybe not the easiest path to a quick million. Okay, how about this? Refinancing. This one almost sounded too good to be true. The article talks about buying low, then refinancing when the market's high, essentially playing the system and profiting off the bank's money. Is refinancing really this magical money-making machine?
Refinancing is definitely a useful tool, but magical might be a bit of a stretch. It's more about making smart financial moves than pulling rabbits out of hats.
So no magic wands involved?
I'm afraid not. Let's say you purchase a house, right? And then a year or two down the line, interest rates take a dip. Refinancing to a lower rate could potentially save you thousands, maybe even tens of thousands, in interest payments over the life of your loan. That, in turn, could give your profits a nice boost when you decide to sell. However, it's crucial to remember that refinancing isn't about magically using the bank's money. You're essentially taking out a new loan to pay off the old one, and that comes with its own set of terms, conditions, and potential pitfalls. Your success hinges on a whole bunch of factors, things like interest rate trends, your credit score, the value of your property, and your overall financial health.
So it's not as simple as they make it sound in the article. It's about understanding the mechanics, not just chasing a magic trick.
Exactly. Knowledge is power, my friend.
Okay, last but not least, we've got a strategy that sounds almost like a slick move from a Wall Street movie. Profiting from contracts without actually owning anything. The article throws around this example of, say, negotiating a super low purchase price for, let's say, a piece of land, and then immediately flipping that contract and selling it to someone else for a much higher price. It sounds almost too easy. What's the catch?
This strategy does exist, and it can be profitable, but like everything else we've talked about, it's not as simple as it seems. Imagine this. You find a really distressed seller, someone who's maybe in a tight spot and needs to offload a property quickly. You negotiate a fantastic price, get the property under contract, and then you find another buyer, someone who's willing to pay a premium for the right to buy that property from you.
So you're essentially acting as a middleman, bridging the gap between a motivated seller and an eager buyer.
Precisely. It's a strategy used in real estate, wholesaling, even options trading. But here's the rub. To successfully pull this off, you need a very specific set of skills. We're talking about market knowledge, negotiation prowess, and a rock-solid understanding of real estate law. Because if you stumble, if you fail to find that end buyer, you could find yourself stuck holding a contract that you're now obligated to fulfill.
So not exactly a risk-free endeavor. It seems like the overarching theme of this deep dive is that there's no one-size-fits-all guaranteed path to overnight riches.
Absolutely, and if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
That should be on a billboard somewhere. So what are the key takeaways here? What should our listeners walk away with today?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that while achieving significant significant financial success is absolutely possible, it's a journey, not a sprint. It requires a combination of dedication, knowledge, carefully calculated risks, and a healthy dose of, well, realism. Don't get swept away by those flashy headlines or promises of overnight wealth. If something piques your interest, great. Dive in, do your research, understand the ins and outs, the potential rewards, but also the inherent risks involved. And never, ever be afraid to ask questions, to seek advice from trusted sources, because knowledge, as we've learned today, is truly the most valuable asset you can possess.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And hey, on that note, here's something to ponder. What if we all approach those get-rich-quick schemes with the same critical eye, the same healthy skepticism? How might that change our perspective, our choices, and maybe even our financial futures? That's all the time we have for today's deep dive, folks. Until next time, stay curious and never stop questioning.